You should refund this if you bought it. This was like a $40 game. It's, you know, most of the price of a AAA experience and none of the game. Go spend this money on any other experience that isn't this. This game is a bait and switch. You could even call this game at this point comfortably a scam. This game is not what they build it as for the years of marketing that they already admitted that they fucked up. So what they did was they said, you know, we're making The Day Before, it's an open world survival zombie MMO, and everyone said, man, that's really ambitious, and these graphics look crazy. It looks like really good graphics for such an ambitious big game. And then they repeatedly told people and showed people misleading footage that would, you know, allow people to believe that this was an open world survival zombie MMO. But then the game released, and it's not an open world zombie survival MMO. It's an extraction looter shooter, which is a totally different genre of game. You could even call this game, at this point, comfortably, a scam. Why could you do that? Well, because again, they said it was going to be one kind of game up until the point where you bought it, logged in, did the tutorial, and then you were confronted with the reality that none of the things that they said this game was going to be is what the game is. When people started saying that's what the game was, they locked their Discord server, they prevented new people from joining the Discord server, they even locked the bug report section. And believe you me, this is a fucking game that needs a bug report section, because the entire game is a bug report. The point is, if you say you're going to do one thing and then deliver another, you lied to people, and you lied to people for money, which, you know, I do believe that there's a word for that. And there's just nothing to do. So let's talk about the actual gameplay. First, optimization. It's bad. It just stutters constantly. When it goes nighttime, the lighting makes my game lag. Turning too quickly gives you stutters and freezes. There's graphical errors, animations on zombies. You can't fucking jump over things. You can't. You constantly get stuck on things if you try to jump on it. I don't think that's fine. I think if you pay money for a product, you should expect to be able to play the product and it be serviceable and good. When we start accepting that, you know, your money as a consumer is just going to give you something that is not fit for purpose, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice, and it isn't something that should just be hand-waved away as, all the games are bad launches, so therefore it's okay that this one does. Fuck all that. We deserve better, so I'm not going to hand-wave that. I retweeted it. They posted like a marketing thing where they were like, oh, you know, we fucked up along the way, but we've given blood, sweat, and tears to make this game, and we just hope everyone enjoys it. And I retweeted it, and I was like, you know, nobody's going to care about the past if the game's good. So hopefully the game's good. Let's see, right? And it's all fine and well posting stuff like this, but when you log in, you're going to create your character that has a bunch of stats. They don't do anything in the game, as far as I can tell, so that's fucking useless. That's, I guess, the RPG element that they said the game would have. Doesn't do anything. The servers are unbearably bad. You're not going to get into the server mostly. It's just going to bounce you back to the server screen. But if you're lucky enough to get into the game, you'll get a load screen, you'll get in, you'll do some tutorials and stuff. The voice acting's, you know, it's lifeless. The animations are lifeless. The game doesn't really have any soul to it whatsoever. But whatever, we're not playing this for that. But then you get into the game, there's 32 people in a server. You know what's wrong with the game, and that is the game doesn't have any soul. The game doesn't really have any reason to play it over other better games that do what it's trying to do. You know, put away the fact that they lied about everything and the game's completely different from what we all expected and what people literally spent money thinking the game was. The classic bait and switch. All you can fucking do in this game, you can loot, you can shoot, and you can extract from the game. There's some quests and NPCs to talk to in the hub, but, you know, that's fucking basically playing a text-based RPG on the internet. You can't really fuck that one up. In terms of loot, oh man, it's just not good. The looting is very inconsistent in terms of what you can loot, the containers you can loot. There's no open world loot as far as I can tell. Everything's in a container, so you don't just see things around. It honestly felt like in the hours I was playing, there was no point to looting anything. You might as well just go camp the extraction where everybody else is, because looting is just unfun. Most of the times, even if I went into like one of the points of interest, which there's like 5 on the whole map, It seems like the map is mostly filler, just fucking useless space where nobody is because you almost never run into players, almost never run into zombies. Development as this extraction shooter, because I don't know whether they always were intending to be an extraction shooter or they just had a game that was so unfit for purpose that they just spent the last, few months when they knew they couldn't delay this time without, massive backlash yet again, to just strip this down and turn it into an extraction shooter. Because the stuff that they showed in the trailers, it just doesn't exist, right? A lot of this stuff, there's nothing survival about this. You use food and water in the extraction zone, but that's the only survival mechanic. There's no base building, there's no, taking over anywhere on the map. There's none of this shit. I've not seen any cars, not heard any cars. There's no RPG mechanics. The base building that they did show just seems to have literally been shoehorned in at the very end as an instance that there doesn't appear to be any reason to go to in any way. They've done this multiple times. With the day before, they originally did it to say, big news coming, and it was them launching another game. They've misrepresented this every step of the way. Still lying to people. At that point, you posted it one day before release. I don't know why you felt the need to do this. If it was going to be an extraction shooter the whole time, people like that genre. People are crying out for another Escape from Tarkov, but different and developed better. So I don't know why you needed to lie if it wasn't to misrepresent and get more people interested in something it was never going to be. This game, it's a complete nothing burger. I prefer to be wrong and the game be great than to have the game be bad, because not only is this just another time that people wasted their time, energy and money if they didn't get a refund, but it's another one where it degrades the trust in indie games and in early access as a model, which I do firmly believe is great for the genre when used properly and is giving us great games.
The Day Before offers a uniquely reimagined journey into post-apocalyptic MMO open-world survival, artfully developed by Fantastic. The open world of The Day Before is beautiful and richly detailed, set in the present day on the U.S. East Coast, following a deadly pandemic. We've designed survival in this world to be a thrilling experience. Exchange Woodbury coins for cars to swiftly collect loot and access distant, hard-to-reach locations. Welcome to the next generation of post-apocalyptic MMO open-world survival games like never before. Immerse yourself in The Day Before.
We've unlocked the bug report section, and believe you me, this is a fucking game that needs a bug report section, because the entire game is a bug report. You should refund this if you bought it. This was like a $40 game. It's, most of the price of a AAA experience and none of the game. Go spend this money on any other experience that isn't this.
But I'm a small-time mayor. We're no army. You saw the attacks on Mirabel week. The rebels were running away. They were hiding. It was embarrassing.
Mario, Rico, it's time for some...
Gran Matre! Give us 1 minute, we will be inside, please!
Mario. Respect. She's a little bit deaf. We've got to show the people we can take back their cities and towns for them. I'm also going to destroy Vis Electra.
That's crazy.
It's time to cut the power. Crivello built that plant in what? 3-4 months? I'm going to reduce it to a smoldering wreck in less than a day.
Whatever you do, we've got your back. And whatever you destroy, we'll rebuild.
Bon. Muy bon.
Boys!
But all this talking isn't putting food in my stomach.
Let's go.